here in tonight's crowd. And I am told we are joined, Brad, by a legend. It is Jim Chones. Jim, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fine, doing fine.
What a night we saw you.
I can't believe it.
we saw the bass guitar that was awarded to you at halftime. That was something special, wasn't it?
It was. And Pritchard said it goes on your wall. I mean, it's got autographs all over it. Everybody, all you guys, I appreciate, man. I had no idea.
Jim, go ahead, Brad.
Jim, you look back and your career was phenomenal. Your playing career, your broadcast career. How quickly did all of this go? As you sit here today, how fast, when you look back and sit here today, did all of that time go by?
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm 76. We're in 5-star hotels, the Four Seasons, the Ritz-Carlton. We're there 3-4 days sometime, and after I do a little writing and a little reading, I'm sitting there at 76 with the lights turned off and nothing to do. Because the radio has been my life and the television has been my life. And when Dan Gilbert gave me this opportunity, he's our man of vision. And one thing I learned from Dan Gilbert is that sports, especially basketball, is a social network. And what they've been able to do is build this team in such a way that beyond the performance of the team, there's other things, there's other experiences that you can have when you come to a Cavalier game. And I always kept that in mind, that basketball is a social network. And that's how I was able, Brad, to move on from the old school traditional type of thinking, because this is a new day. It's a more aggressive game. And I appreciate it, and Dan gave me that opportunity. He stayed with me. Kobe, Nick Bartlett was always encouraging, and Kobe was exceptional. He allowed us to go to practices, Brad. Not a lot of teams do that.
Yeah.
And be around his players and talk to them. That's rare in our league. You know that.
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, Brad, when I came to this league back in 2011, it was my privilege to join Jim in the radio booth. And something that still resonates to this day, Jimmy. I was new to the league. I was coming from the NHL, not just new to the Cavs, but new to the NBA. And you welcomed me in and made me feel like a part of this family, the Cavs family, of your family. And that's something that me and my family will never forget. Thank you, my friend.
Well, thank you. I met your beautiful son. You ought to post that picture. How old was he when he was reading the stats?
Well, he was one when he was sitting on both of our laps up there calling a game.
And then he had the stat in front of him like he was reading it.
Yeah.
And then I knew that he was special, as well as your daughter and your beautiful, the athlete in the family, your wife.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
What a special day it's been. We even harken back to Tim's championship, 1980.
Yeah.
The story is, Jim, that it was Magic who played center, but we all know who really played center that game. Hey, take us through what this was like for you, Jimmy. What emotions ran through you? Speaking of beautiful wives, there's your beautiful wife and your son as well, and you're handed that base.
I didn't know what to think because, you only know what you've been through. And so I'm trying to figure out what else could there be other than this. And then my beautiful wife, who raised me and our children. I never will forget, I'm going to tell you a short story. Me and my dad were watching a 7-year itch. And we were watching the TV. And he looked over at me smoking a Marlboro. And he said, always marry someone better than you. And that was the only time I ever listened to him. I married a woman who's a lot better than me. And if it wasn't for her, I get a lot of praise about our kids and what they've accomplished and everything, but she deserves 90% of the credit because we get our spirit from our mothers. And I'm so proud of my wife and everything that she's given me. And thanks for sticking with me, E. I appreciate it. It couldn't have been the money.
All right, Jim, what's next? You're a very philosophical guy. You're a voracious reader. You're into your music. What's next for Jim Chones? What's the next chapter?
Well, the Cavaliers and I are going to partner.
Fantastic.
We're going to partner and produce programming, create things so that the fan experience can even be greater. We have one project already in the can. It's called the Black Book. We did that about 2 or 3 years ago, but now we're going to put it out there celebrities, Hollywood people. We're going to do as much as we can to give our great fans that great experience.
You've done so much, Jimmy. You have such a unique perspective from the championship with the Lakers, your great times here with the Cavs, the miracle of Ridgefield. If there's anything you had to point to that stands out more than anything else, is there something you could say at this point?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave everybody with this quote. We receive, we owe. We receive, we owe. And I'm just paying back what was given to me. Thank you all. You guys, the whole great Cavs organization, Dan Gilbert in special, and also all of our great fans. These are hard-working people, and they deserve championships.
Well said as always, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Congratulations.
Best of luck with everything. You deserve every bit of this.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, our thanks to the one and only Jim Chones. 4:08 to go here in the third. Larry Nance at the free throw line. The Cavaliers